with your paper towels, I don't really like it hanging out on the couch or on the counter here. I personally have a paper towel dispenser that's different from the one in the bathroom. You don't want to be going, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and bring some paper towels out like, oh, he just went to the bathroom and got paper towels for me for my procedure. That's gross. So I want you to have your own specific towel, glove setup, nitrile and vinyl. Remember, vinyl gloves are for setup, trimming the hair. Nitrile gloves is when we're tattooing. Okay, so let's have a little trash can. Do you have a little trash can? Ultimately, with your trash can, guys, I don't like open trash cans. I like trash cans that are closed for sanitation purposes. So a closed trash can, preferably one that has a little foot pedal. I don't want to see you touching the trash can while you're setting up my tray. That's disgusting. So something similar to this, maybe that one that has a little foot pedal. I don't want to see you touching the trash can. The moment you do something nasty like that, take the gloves off. Hey man, that was pretty gross. I just touched the trash can. I'm gonna re-glove, sanitizer. I'll re-glove with some vinyl gloves. My apologies, sir. Nonetheless, we're gonna continue with tray setup. And that goes if you drop anything. If you drop it, pick it up, cavicide it, take your gloves off, restart. So again, perfect. We have our setup. I've seen some artists doing it like this, with this part upwards like that. Me personally, for whatever reason, I feel that I really like it like that. That kind of just goes down to personal preference. But nonetheless, once you have your dental bin, you won't be using necessarily, where's those other ones at? So what we'll do is, remember, this is too rough for clients. So we're going to be using these somewhat. We may kind of also use tissue paper. We're going to get a little fancy here. So ultimately, same type of ideology. These need to be stored in a clean drawer. Ultimately, I have like a toolbox, like a tattoo toolbox next to my workstation. Ultimately, it's a locking toolbox. I'll pull these on out from the drawer, grab one individually. These little things make an impression on the client in terms of where you have them housed, stored, etc., etc. So ultimately, you'll have your paper towels like such. I'll start out with a good amount of them. 3, 4, 5.
Is it for wiping?
So this will be for our dripping, and we may use them for wiping. These look a little bit too tough for me, so we may use tissue paper.
This one.
Oh, we got them perfect. Is that some gauze? Perfect, perfect. So these are cotton 4x4s. They're similar to a cotton 4x4. You can use those to wipe. That won't be an issue. But I use that style more for the epinephrine and lidocaine solution once we're done. We'll talk about that. But nonetheless, you'll have your napkins off to the side. I want this real nice and organized. Okay, so although they're just paper towels, I want them stacked real nice and neat. I don't want them just kind of thrown off to the side there. I want some organization with this table. Next, what you'll do is you'll grab your vitamins A and D. With your vitamins A and D, usually in America they have like a little perforation here. Perforation of these ones. So generally, these ones have like a little perforation on the corner here.
Then bite it like
Just bite it. It's a little weird how these ones are. Do you have scissors? These ones don't have the little perforation on the corner. Generally speaking, they have a little perforation or a little tear in the corner. What you'll do is you'll kind of just tear it with the perforation.
Scissor salad.
So when you have or you grab some scissors like something like this, make sure they're stored in your medical tray, ultimately, or in your toolbox. Make sure they're clean. You'll go ahead and cut it. If it falls on the floor, leave it. Don't pick it up. You'll go ahead and squeeze your vitamins A and D out. Once you have your vitamins A and D out, you'll go ahead and get your cup here. And what I like to do is I like to kind of dabble some of the vitamin A and D onto the bottom, so that way your cup doesn't spill on over. Next, you'll use either cotton 4x4s or the ones that were brought here. Where are they? Oh, here. So ultimately, these cotton 4x4s, I like to get at least 3 to 4 of them. What we'll do, these ones are a little bit too small. We'll use these ones actually. And so we'll do 3 of them. Generally speaking, 3 is sufficient. I'll kind of do a little bit of an overlap like that on my paper towels. Next, we proceed onwards with our machine. With our machine, you can use this one. We don't have a needle on it. Remember, these are still stored in its packaging. You will grab your paper towel. Remember, this is on the wall. Fill it with some alcohol.
Sir, do you sterilize? Do you put it inside the sterilize?
The machines?
Or autoclave? No, you cannot autoclave that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the machines. Wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable autoclaving. There isn't necessarily anything that I autoclave. The only thing that I would potentially autoclave is if we can make that guard stainless steel, and then that way we don't have to use disposable ones. That would be ideal. That's something that I'm kind of thinking, but that would kind of be the only thing that I would feel like is appropriate to autoclave.
Because everything is disposable anyway.
Exactly. So once you have your machine sterilized, either with Cavicide or alcohol, you'll get your machine wrap. Machine wrap, I think out here, you guys kind of have it set up like.
Babili ka dapat yung mamaya.
These open those to sleeve? Do you have a sleeve one? The sleeve one? Our machine
Here, I have, sir. Tobias.
Ayan, pwede na.
Ano pong pwede sterilize? Stainless.
Ayun pala.
Pwede kaya lang, baka, di mo baka masira. Sobrang bilis. Eh, pag hindi naman nila.
Plastic.
Pwede.
You got machine covers too?
I have a short one.
Perfect, we have the short.
Galing na supply. Mama, ano pwede?
Ano ba supply mo? National
Dapat
Bookstore.
nagpabili
Para si Mary Poppins, ano?
These ones, I like these ones because these ones are kind of situated for machines. You can use the cord wraps. These are more specific for cords. However, you can cut them and use them as a machine wrap. So if you want to save some money, you could get just the cord wrap and it doubles as a machine wrap. These machine wraps are specific just to machines. I personally use the machine wraps. Why? Because I don't necessarily use any corded devices. So ultimately a machine wrap is my go-to. Remember, this is Cavicide or clean. We're going to go ahead and throw it into the machine wrap, like such. Next, let's talk about gripping. Now this is something that we didn't talk about in the PowerPoint, but I'm going to show you my particular grip. What I do is I will use paper towel, true paper towel. I'll get it, I'll fold it in half, I'll fold it in half again, so hot dog style, twice, and then I'll fold it again one more time, similar to how we did the wrap for the pinkies, but this is 2 of them. Okay. Next, I'll grab my machine, I'll wrap it around the machine, and know that this is user dependent in the sense that some people don't like a wide grip, some people like a super wide grip, some people don't like a grip at all. I personally like a grip. Why? The wider the grip, the more dexterity you have with the procedure in the sense of moving the pen around. But remember, we're not reaching like this because the angle of insertion needs to be 90 degrees. So never stretch or kind of use this as a tool to kind of do more in one. Ultimately, you want to make sure the insertion is 90 degrees perpendicular, so don't get too caught up on that dexterity. This is more of a personal preference, how it feels in your hand, in your machine when you have the wrap, okay? So once you have your paper towel situated, what I'll do is I grab my vinyl wrap, and what you'll do is you can wrap it up like such, and what you did now is you've created your own grip. Okay? Ultimately, this needs to be taped on down like that for proper sanitation in America. Some people do use this open like that. That's not necessarily proper sanitation because of this opening right here. Some people twist it. Some people tie it with the tape. There's different ways you guys can do it, but I don't want to see that machine open in the backside. Okay, that's a big mistake I see a lot of people have. Okay, so once you have that, you'll have your machine laid out. Again, I want this to look relatively organized. Okay, so now we have our paper towels. We have our carton 4x4s. Our paper towels are for our grip. Remember, these are a little bit too rough to be using on people's head. It's a little too rough. So you can either use more cotton 4x4s, which is okay. And what I'll probably do for the procedures today is I'll have a couple more cotton 4x4s, but I'll probably do this to kind of indicate that, hey, this is for your magic spray, your epinephrine and lidocaine for the photos. This one's more for wiping. Okay? Next, remember, during the consultation we figure out or we create our plan of action in the sense of what needles we're going to be using and what pigment we should have. So that should kind of be rolling like, oh, I'm going to use a 0.18 millimeter on him, or I'm going to use a 3RL. I'm going to probably use the 0.18 2RL needle and guard. That's going to be my go-to. That's what we're going to be using today. I don't want you to feel like the 2RL is a bad thing, like it's training wheels, that this is just for new students. No, this is a technique used by veteran artists. This is a technique that is very popular because of the natural results that it achieves. So with that being said, I don't want you to feel any type of way of using the guard. It is a great tool, and remember, we're utilizing the guard so that you guys can understand pressure. Once you guys understand your pressure, then I feel comfortable letting you use the 3RL or doing a freestyle, so to speak, without the guard. Okay? So you'll grab your needles. People are asking me how many. I use, with these needles, what's cool about them is I use one needle for a procedure. I'm not saying that that's the rule. I'm not saying that. You're not going to pick that up. Remember, if you pick it up, you have to re-glove. You'll say, oh, I'll pick that up here momentarily. If you're doing it in front of the client, which you should never do. But with that being said, I'll put 3 needles out. I know that's more than enough, but I just want to have backup just in case I need more than 1 needle. I don't want to be fishing, oh crap, I need to grab more needles. Mid-procedure, everything should be laid out right here, ready to go. Okay, so we got our needles out. We'll get our guard. Throw our guard out. So now we have needle, guard. The last thing that we're mixing is our pigment mixture. So let me grab my pigment mixer here. Your pigment mixer should already be cavicide or wiped down. Okay? Don't laugh, but this is our huge sink wrap. I don't necessarily think we need a big one like that. The one that I use at home is the small hand one that has a little, it's like a cardboard and it has the plastic wrapped around it. It's more for hand, for more hand use. This is more for chairs, if you're trying to wrap a giant chair. So I personally like a smaller one. We'll make this one work for now. Because it's the same thing. It's not necessarily like the smaller one's a different product. It's the same thing. This is just a bit wider. Okay.
The green one, the blue barrier film.
Okay. It is a small little one, like that has a little cardboard on it. So again, you should have a smaller one in your medical tray, or in your toolbox, so to speak. A smaller one. This is going to be a bit difficult to tear off. That's why I don't like this big one here. These big ones here are hard to work with. So what we'll do to make it feasible or to work, excuse me, we will put, kind of cut this out. Okay, so this has been cavicide or wiped with alcohol. You're going to go ahead and wrap your machine. When you have the little hand wrap one, it's a lot more easier to wrap this machine. One thing that I want to tell you is it's like really easy to like want to tighten this whole thing up really tight, and then you'll go to use the machine or press the button, and it doesn't work. Oh, there's a smaller version. Look, there's a smaller version. So again, in the trash, we'll use this smaller version. This is a bit more similar to what we use at home. Mine's a little bit more bigger, still about that big. That'll work. That'll work. The one that I have is like this, except it's a whole giant piece of cardboard, like a paper towel roll. It's like a paper towel, and it has the plastic around it. I like, again, the smaller one is going to work a little bit better. Ultimately, you'll wrap your machine out. Make sure you get the head of the machine. I see some people doing this and they just forgot the whole head. That makes no sense to me. So not only don't you get the whole head, you get the bottom as well. I see a lot of people just wrapping this the barrel. They don't do the top or the bottom. Do the top and the head. Once that is wrapped, it's okay to place it on the tray. Nothing should be placed on the tray that hasn't been wrapped or sanitized. Both. Okay, if you only sanitize and then you put it on the tray, that's an issue. Wrapped and sanitized. So we have our paper towels for our grip. We got some cotton 4x4s for our magic spray. Who knows what magic spray is?
Second.
So, what is it?
Second anesthesia.
It's just to take away the redness.
So it's an epinephrine and lidocaine solution. It's oftentimes referred to as magic spray. There's a ton of different ones on the market. The one that I've been using lately is this one here. This one works really good, and I think this one has a little bit more stronger formulation than what's allowed in America, because the one in America doesn't take out the redness as much as this one does. So I think it's the amount of lidocaine and epinephrine that you guys can use out here in Asia in comparison to America. Okay.
It's called painless liquid.
They call this one painless liquid here, painless gel. Ultimately, lidocaine and epinephrine solution. I think this one,
Painless
the reason why I prefer out of country magic sprays is because they have a little bit higher percentages than what's allowed in America. Okay. So with that being said, epinephrine and lidocaine solution for your cotton 4x4s. You also have some cotton 4x4s for wiping. We also have our pigment mixer. And with the pigment mixer comes these disposable little mixers. How many of you guys have these at home or in your office? Everybody got them?
But I don't use.
Well, you're gonna be.
We use
I know yung micro brush.
Well, it looks like for the longest time I used to think these were just for looking cool. But when you're mixing pigment by hand, these are needed. I taught you guys how to mix pigment by hand. If you're using a 5 p.m. shadow, she asked me the question, she said, hey, what is the dilution chart or what is the pigment chart for 3RL? Me personally, I've been using the 2RL lately. I don't necessarily use a 3RL. If I were going to use a 3RL, I would probably use a brand such as 5 p.m. shadow that I'm familiar with, rather than trying to mix my own pigments. Why? Because I've yet to do the research in and around the pigment chart specific for the 3RL. Now I have a working one that I've been working on. I just haven't tried and tested it. I'm not going to give you guys something that I haven't tried and tested myself. I want to be the one that has to face the consequences if things go wrong, not you guys. So I want to bear the responsibility. Once I do get that finalized within the next, I would say at least a month or two, I will be sending it in the group chat. But that group chat is on Messenger. I want you guys to take advantage of that. It behooves you. You guys spent how much money to be here today? It would be stupid if you don't use that as a resource at any time. I'm always available. And I want you to voice it in the chat. Because if you have the question, somebody else has the question too. Okay? So again, pigment mixer, off to the side there. We have this. I'm not really liking some of this, the stacking of this paper towel. I'm big on that. That makes an impression with the clients too. I want this to be very organized here. I want it to look really nice, and I want it presented in front of the client when he arrives, so he knows everything's been set up and you've been, thoughtful in his procedure. You've actually cared. You showed that consideration. So again, that's table setup. Once you set up the tray, you remove your gloves, fold them inside of each other. drop them in the trash can. Then you say, all right, now we're going to proceed onwards to the procedure. For the procedure, I'm going to go ahead and utilize nitrile gloves. Okay? So at this point in time, I want us to all set up a table or set up one. The issue is trays here. So if we don't have a tray, I want you to utilize the table in front of you. I'll be walking around with dental bibs. I want to see you guys set up similar to this. It doesn't have to be this exact picture perfect, but what I do want to see is organization. I want it to look clean. I want it to look prepared. I want it to look professional. I don't care if it's in this exact order.
Okay, wait, I'll take a picture.
Here's your-
Sir, how much?
Remember I told you, I don't want to see no stacked dots. I don't want to see dots on top of each other or near each other. I'm going to be very upset if I see that because density is huge. You guys are permanent makeup artists. You guys should have a fairly concrete understanding of density in comparison to my beginner students. So no stacked dots. Number 2, no texture. I don't want to see real fast, this kind of shit. That's not SMP. That's not how it's done. When you do it, real methodical, 90-degree impressions, spaced out. I don't want them real close to them like that. I want spaced out, like this. Spaced out, no regular pattern. Spaced out like this. This is what a first session would look like, okay? First session. Second session, you'll come through and add impressions in the negative space in a equal density type approach. That's what a second session would look like. Your third session, you add more impressions in that negative space in a randomized order. This is why it's important to have your magnifiers. It's hard to see if you don't have your magnifiers exactly where the dots are or where the hair is protruding from the skin. If there's a hair growing out, 1 or 2 random hairs, I don't want to see a dot at the base of the hair. I don't want to see a dot on top of that. I want to see it right beside it, off to the side of it.
How about the pimple?
Pimple, same thing. I don't want you to tattoo on top of a pimple. I want you to leave the pimple alone, reassess on session 2. Because if you tattoo a pimple, sometimes that'll spread inside the pimple.
How about a healed pimple?
A healed pimple in the
Yeah.
sense of acne or
It's already
scarring?
healed. It's not swelling
I
anymore.
wouldn't necessarily be concerned.
It's just a
about
scar.
that. No, I wouldn't be concerned about that. So again, first session spread out, second session more, third session the most densest. We're going to be practicing on that first and foremost on our pads. So I want you to locate your pads at this point, and I want you to pull those out next.
Pads.
Let's go ahead and begin with the one that has, not this one, but the other one that just has the back of the head like this.
Where's the horseshoe?
This one, like this one, like this
The
one.
horseshoe.
Yeah, well, this is the back. We're going to practice density first, and then we'll talk about margins of least density, and we'll practice that on the second skin pads. But I want to talk about just straight density first. This is going to be the most appropriate skin pad to just practice straight density because it doesn't have a margin of least density. We can't put a margin of least density on someone's back of the head. That wouldn't make sense. But listen, when you guys do this, this isn't just a free-for-all. I'm just wasting your guys' time. There is a reason why I chose this skin pad. It wasn't just because I wanted to look official. The reason why I chose this skin pad is because look guys, this one actually has hair on the side here. I want you to use your magnifiers and I want to see impressions beside the hair. I don't want to see impressions on top of those hairs protruding out of the skin. Okay? Does that make sense? So at this point in time, we're not going to be mixing any pigment. We're just going to use a straight black. So in your cups, I will be walking around and throwing just some straight black. Or if you want to use your black carbon, just throw 2 pumps into your black or into your cup. No more than 2 pumps. And I want to see magnifiers, and I want lights out. If you have your iPhone or you had a stand, turn your cam or your light on like this. I want to see a ton of light. That is going to be your best friend, guys. Whether it's light on your glasses, light above you. I have tons of light. Light above me, light on my glasses, light beside me. Light is going to be your best friend.
Wala. Seta.
Ano kailangan mo, Tix? Maliwanag naman. Tika, ano kailangan mo? Hindi, ano lang. Black? Black ni tita na open. Para hindi ko mabuksan.
What are we looking for?
Yung sa'yo?
Meron na nasa ba?
May practice at.
Lalas bukas.
Okay, so once you guys, I want to see you guys
Meron na lang din, pag di ka na magbukas.
practice your impressions. I want to see 90 degrees, and I also want to see the correct hand placement. I'm not seeing paper towels and the correct hand placement. I want to see, remember, the pinkies and an extra one in the left hand, as if we're doing a pearl procedure.
Tatlo, apat. Tatlo. 3 pumps.
2 or 3, doesn't matter, 2 to 3. Another thing that the magnifiers are good for is sometimes it's hard to see where the ink is to dip your needle in there. Sometimes it's good to have the magnifiers because sometimes if you dip the needle in there too much, it's making a mess, it's dripping everywhere. I want you guys to become familiar with impressions, holding the machine with the right hand placement and paper towel placement. And I want to see stretching of the skin. Stretching of the skin with an extra paper towel in the left hand. So like this, you're holding a paper towel right here, using these 2 fingers to stretch. Hold a little paper towel in your left hand right here. So maybe like one of these ones or a cotton 4x4, hold it in your left hand. Because this is what you wipe with. There you go.
How much ink do we put inside?
What you want to do is when you dip it in there, you don't want to dip the whole thing. Oh, and you you can do it with the guard on. You'll dip just the tip in there, and you'll see it feed into the housing button. See how it goes up into there? You'll see it go all the way up. That's enough. You see that? And then what I do is see how I have a little bit of the drip. But don't forget your guard. And I put the guard on first before I dip. You don't have to take the guard off and then dip. Dip it with the guard on there. Is this in your way? I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna start organizing my end over here. I'm all dirty. Real nice and loud, guys. Come on, keep it down. I want you guys to hear what he has to say. This is some serious stuff. Gloves. Very good.
What's the second now?
Sabi na lang, sasalita pa rin.
Di ba? Second na?
Bilihan mo, wala siya. Bilisan mo.
Gusto niya na dyan siya eh. Ay, go na lang, girl. Eh, hindi ako makapag-isip ba? Ikaw, Miss Rose, mga baby boy, hindi kita ba rin? Eh, wala na ako eh. Ano po? What's this? Sabi sa ganyan po.
Ano ba kami pa magtuturo? Ikaw.
Give me a second session here. This is my first session. Very nice. A lot nicer, a lot cleaner, a lot cleaner. Give me a third session now.
Sir, I have a question.
Shoot.
When I do it, it should be like this, like.
Well, where's your hand? Where's your paper towel? That's
It should
number
be
one.
like 90, right?
90 degrees perpendicular.
But when I do like this, the ink is not going in. So is it? My guard is too low.
Let me see. When you say the ink's not going in, show me what you mean.
General education.
Where's your fingers? Where's your fingers supposed to be? You're stretching too hard now. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out.
Felix na.
Kaya mo yan, sabihin mo, letter A, letter B. Here.
Exactly. Watch it though, watch it. Is it going into the housing? Watch it, look at it, feed into the housing, watch it. Look at it, how the ink goes into the housing. Look, it sucks it up and it stays in there, and you'll see when it's fully saturated. See, now it's a whole solid canal in there. You see that whole plastic is black now? Now go ahead and wipe the tip off. There you go. Now you can come out. Now you know the cartridge is full of ink.
Then,
Ano nga kasi mo na?
mixing. Chocolate red.
What's this right here?
Ay, itiktok mo paano? Itiktok mo pala siya ganun.
Okay, I mean, you can have the napkins on there, but you're kind of wasting some napkins here. We already have a barrier down here. Me personally, I would have done
Tiktok mo ganun.
exactly. I would have folded it in half and have them organized real nice and perfect onto the side. These are used for wiping clients, so this is just kind of double overkill. You get what I'm saying? So go ahead and fold that off to the side. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm liking, the organization, looking clean. But let's take this one off too. Let's take this one off too, though. This is overkill.
Paano niyo po pinupunan? Ito maganda ba? Kasi hindi na patry.
Okay. I mean for the magic spray you're saying? Okay. So this one right here, I mean you can use this, but I would personally use maybe these cotton 4x4s for the
Mas ano
white
yan
paint.
yung hard?
Because these ones, it's like,
yung ginawa
it'll just
kanina.
ball
Yung
up.
ganyan.
It'll just have a bunch of balls like, you know what I mean? So let's use this to wipe, and then another set of them for the epinephrine, for the magic spray. So you can put them off to the side exactly. So you know, one is for wiping, one is for magic. This is for fingers or hand placement. You might want a couple more of these there. So maybe put a couple more there, here. Next, we need vitamins A and D.
Ayoko naman linis kasi dudulas.
Oh, get rid of the plastic or the trash. Oh, you put all the rest of that on the map. Put the rest right beside it. Perfect.
Sir,
Needle?
what's the use for the A&D?
What was that?
What is the A&D for?
The rest of that?
Yeah.
So when you're doing your skin analysis and the client arrives and it's super dry, a little bit of A&D just to hydrate it. Not a lot, just a little bit of a pass to hydrate it.
So can we use instead of this as petroleum jelly?
I wouldn't necessarily use petroleum jelly. I would use vitamins A. Next, what do we have? Where's our machine? Let's get our machine wrapped. Let's get it all ready to go. I'll let you take off the needle and put a new needle on, or just take off the needle, put it in the sharps container. Right behind you there. Oh, right there, look, sharps container right there, look. Right in front of Vanessa.
Papalitan mo na.
Right here, look, look.
Here. Papalitan ba? Pag siya.
Baby, or you don't have to do that one, I'm having it set up. You can move, yeah, you can move that one.
Alin daw?
Yung, tapos pa yung ano, yung ink.
Ay, kainis!
Thank you.
Bigyan mo siya ng gamit niya.
Sabi po niya.
Hindi, yung guard. Ano pa yung guard?
Okay.
Andyan ba yung guard niya?
This machine.
Tinakarin ako ng ink. Asan yun?
Next, I want you to come up and set up the second tray right beside him, okay? Second tray right beside him. Wrap it, and then towel wrap. There you go. Towel wrap. Towel wrap.
Yun yung blue.
Towel wrap.
Yan. Kunin mo lang lahat. Marami kanyang kailangan. Sa ilalim. Final baby girl.
Hindi ko na yan.
Oo. Kaya kailangan yan. Oops.
I want those trays set up perfectly, and then once the tray's set up, we'll bring them on over to our stations over here, but not until they're set up perfectly.
Ay, hindi ka pa tapos.
Uy, di tapos ko na to. Kaya ako na.
Ay, kuya, nawala yung ano ko.
Drip mo.
Ten.
Yung markings ko.
Pwede, mamaya, lagyan na lang ulit.
Tatapos na to. Kaya.
Akin din, nawala, tinanggal ko. Naburan na eh.
Tapos ngayon, no, gagamitin kasi siya doon.
Ako na lang ating lagyan na.
Sayang. Hindi ako ayaw pa ang palagay pa.
Pwede na yung needle, balik niya.
Ako, magastos ang nila.
Kaya kayo ako nagpalit.
Ma'am V, pwede po humiram ng ballpen mo. Ay, yung... Thank you po.
Parang gusto ko nang mag-PRF.
Asan yung
Kaya
alcohol?
ako dito.
Where's the alcohol? May malaki pa yung record. Ito lang po yung mga kailangan kong kalikot.
And the gloves.